Hey guys, I thought I'd make you a somewhat simplified video of setting up VS Code to work with Python. So you can see the download screen for Visual Studio Code, and you want to pick um, the version that works for your operating system. Most people in this class are either going to have a Windows or a Mac, and you want to download that and run the installer. Once you do that, then and VS Code installs, you're going to open it up. On Windows, you can go to your window and type in V for Visual Studio Code and then select it, and it will open up on your machine. So to do some Python programming, you need to install the Python extension. So you'll notice there are some menu items up here along the top, and there's also some icons along the side and down here at the bottom. One of the common ones you're going to use a lot is this little gear one down in the bottom left, and the command palette, and that lets you put some commands in here, and you can also get to that by going to the let's figure out where it is. Oh, the view and command palette also, and then you can run commands in the command palette. This top icon on the left, it looks like two pieces of paper, is the file explorer. You'll use this for looking at things. This one that looks like three dots connected with some lines, this is version control, and you should have Git installed on your computer already, and we'll look at this at another time. Right now we're just going to focus on getting set up to do some Python programming. And then this one that's three squares with one square offset is the extension icon. You want to click on the extension icon, and then we're going to look for the Python extension. So in the search bar at the top, type in Python, and probably the first one that comes up is what you'll need to get your machine set up. And I already have it installed, but you're going to click install, and it takes a couple minutes, and then it will install, and it will look like this. You can disable it or uninstall it if you want, but you're going to leave that. We are going to use Jupyter Notebooks in this class. I don't typically like to run my Jupyter Notebooks from VS Code, but I'll show you how to install those in case you want to try it out. And you're just going to type in Jupyter, and I think this first one you'll install this, and I believe this second one, I don't know if this second one installs automatically or not. And then with those installed, you should be set up to run Python on your computer. So probably the simplest way to test this out is I'm going to go to a folder where I know I have a Python file. You can go to whatever folder you want, maybe where you want to keep assignments for this class. And the way I open a folder so I can work in is I'll go to File, Open Folder, and then I'm going to navigate to the place where I have a folder that I want. So I usually keep a lot of things in Documents, and I have this junk folder, and I've got this test folder that I've set up. You can use whatever folder you want, and that looks okay. I'm going to just select this PyScript test. You notice I didn't click on that one. I'm just going to use this PyScript test and hit select folder, and it opened up another window for me with this folder. I'm going to close this other one. So inside this folder, you can try different things. I'm going to make a new Python file. So you'll notice when this shows the name of the folder, and when you hover over it, you can see these options. This one is to create a new file. This is to create a new folder. That refreshes the Explorer, and that collapses the folders in there. So we're going to make a new file. So I'm going to make a new file, and I'm just going to give it a name. I'm going to call it test2.py, and that .py means that's a Python file. You'll notice that now this shows up, and I'm just going to put a simple Python command in there and say, not Python, print hello. And you'll notice here on my test2.py tab that I've got a solid circle. That means that this isn't saved yet. So I'm just going to hit Control S and save that, and you'll notice that that changes from a circle to an X, and this has been saved. You'll notice that this did open up with the terminal. I'm going to shut that so you can see where we're at. If I wanted to run this file, I would open up a new terminal, and I can go to Terminal, New Terminal, and you'll notice that this opened up the terminal in this folder which I had navigated to, and I'm going to run a command, Python, and we're going to run test2.py. So this is useful for you guys to see. It's easy to make a mistake. You'll notice when I built this that it actually created my file inside this other folder I had inside called test folder. So I'm going to move that out and move it to outside it, so it's inside this PyScript test folder that I had, and we'll try and run this again. And you'll notice that my command got executed. It printed hello. If I wanted to keep it inside the test folder, then I could, and we'll just move it back. Now you'll notice that I'm in my terminal, I'm in this PyScript test folder, but I have this other folder that's inside of there, and my file's in there. And when I ran that before, it tells me there's no such file or directory. It can't see it. So I would need to let it know that the file's actually inside a directory, and you can put those directories in there. So I'm going to call this and you'll notice that I did have a space in that test folder name, so I needed to put that in quotes. But I did tell it that this just added the directory, the folder for the file, and it ran just fine. So we're not going to do much with the command line in this class. I just wanted to show you that it works. But this is set up and working. So that is how you're going to set up VSCode for working with Python. This is mostly for working with Python scripts which end with the extension .py, and you'll install those using your extensions folder, and you'll see that it does tell you which ones are installed and then which ones has some recommended there, and you can search for other extensions if you want to. So I hope that helps. A little simplified method to get your VS Code set up for doing some basic Python programming, and I look forward to working with you in class.